Now, I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do some different kinds of food crops. And a lot of them are new to me because I never paid much attention to them before. But anything that looks interesting and special, I try to do a little bit of it to start to see what the outcome will be. Um, the eddoes that I gave you, that row, half row there, it was given to me by a guy who calls it Guyanese Eddoes. And he says it likes a lot of water, which is not like most eddoes. But I found it interesting, and the eddoes on the whole, they were bigger, and it gives you a big head, almost like a dasheen as well. And I think it's worthwhile. They would mature in a little more than 6 months. But strange enough, I have some of these here. Um, they sort of drying down in the rainy season, and because, well, I harvested some, like what I gave you there, and they're good. So maybe it isn't as seasonal as the others. When you have to plant them in rainy season, you harvest them in dry season. If you can get continuously, if you take proper care of them and water them when they need water. I tried it, and I like the texture of it. It's not as hard as an old dasheen. It's sort of more crumbly. Again, what is strange too, this whole row from there to the end is supposed to be one variety of the same eddoes. But I really can't understand why half of it grew very well and half of it did not do as well. Although in the beginning, all were the same size coming up very nicely, and then all of a sudden, those shot ahead and these remained. So this plot of land is not the best thing because it doesn't drain enough. It's almost waterlogged sometimes. You see that yellow flower thing there? It is called Titonia diversifolia, and the common name is Mexican sunflower. For the people who want to do organic farming, it is one of the best plants to keep cutting the foliage, and you can either drop it around or you can ferment it for, some people say 21 days, fill it with water, a big tub with water, and then you water the plants with that. And one of the main advantages of that is that it repels insects. So I'm going by what they say on the net and what people do in Africa, and they find it repels insects from the crops. Titonia diversifolia, very good for green manure, they call it. I bought the estate. I had nothing in mind except to plant a few trees. But when the reality hits you that you have to start paying for labor and whatnot, we had to try to do different things. And we started off with vegetables, but it never worked out because when I was ready, the market people were not ready, and different things like this. And eventually, we settled on ornamentals. After also trying cut flowers, but the ornamentals, um, that will be our mainstay on this estate at the moment. Because as you can see with COVID-19, um, our recreation areas have been shut down for months. And like even though the ponds, people don't bathe in them, but people are not allowed to come into these areas, so it's closed down. Our swimming pools, which were doing okay, we've also had to close down. So now we have to find ways and means to, well, overcome that side of it and to make the other side pay a little better. I know eddoes is a really good crop for the home gardener. You put in eddoes and you can get maybe up to 8-10 pounds from one heap of eddoes. One plant will produce that. And if it's well done and you mulch it up properly, you can get 8 to 10 pounds quite easily. You boil it with the skin. and then it peels off very easily. I would say you could you know how to test it. You stick it with a knife or fork and see if it goes in easily. But I think a little more than 30 minutes boiling would be fine. Of course, depending on the size, you may need to boil it a little more than that. It's so many different things you can have with it because sometimes we have stew or you have saltfish. It's versatile. You can have almost anything with it, you know. Stew chicken, anything at all. It will be as good or better than rice.